What's happening, Carolina fans? Welcome to Two Fans in the Stands, a podcast related to all things Carolina Panthers and North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm your co-host Tony.
And I'm your co-host CJ.
Let's go. CJ, what's good? How was your weekend?
It was good, man. It was good, especially with that win we got.
Hey, what you talking about? The boys keep surprising me and surprising me. Won't they do
Yes, they will.
it? So, what were your thoughts on the game?
It was a good game. It started
Okay.
off exactly like last week did in a sense, but unlike how Pittsburgh was using the pass to set up the run, I mean Virginia just took the ball and said bump it and just ran it down our throats for
With the
for
quarterback.
the yeah, they just ran it down our throats the whole first half
Yeah,
and slightly into the third quarter. And then Carolina got on their usual, okay, we're going to score. Our defense is going to get a few stops. And then they got it ahead by 10 points. So,
right.
I mean, the game plan really went like it normally does, except for they allow Virginia to get that late touchdown. But
Right, right.
overall, I'm impressed. Drake May is, I mean, he's still doing Drake May stuff. He still, but at least this game he was not the leading rusher. I mean, we
Exactly.
can't say that. I mean, he wasn't but about 17 yards off, but still
But
somebody else
somebody else
led
stepped up.
somebody else led Carolina in rushing. So that was a good
Yeah.
thing. But Drake May still doing Drake May things. Josh Downs is still doing Josh Downs. And I mean, he really did Josh Downs thing because he had 166 yards receiving. The next closest one was Antoine Green with 33. So he definitely caught the bulk of the passes on Saturday.
I mean, yeah, he had 15 catches for 166 yards, while the rest of the team had like I think it was 11 catches for 133 yards. So he caught them and outperformed them as far as yardage. So
Hmm.
yeah, welcome to
Yeah,
the Drake Man Josh Down show.
yeah, for real, for real. But yeah, I mean, and it's wild to say this now, but Carolina is a win away from securing their spot in the ACC title game. They're a win away from clinching the Coastal. And I guess
Yep.
it's great that we're in the Coastal Division because the Atlantic is a whole nother story. I mean, I think Boston College is like the only team that's under 500 in that division. Everybody else
In
over
the
there
Atlantic.
has a everybody. If I'm not mistaken, everybody else has winning records,
Okay.
which is wild. And we go, what was it, to Winston Salem next week to play Wake Forest.
Yeah, we
So,
play at Wake
but
Forest next week, next
but
Saturday
with
night.
a win there or a Duke loss, we going to the ACC title game, which is not something I would have said a few months ago.
Hell no. I would have
Mm-mm.
told you lying and the truth ain't in you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have been happy with just, I thought by this time maybe Carolina would be coming into form and we'd be working towards getting bowl eligible. I mean, we've been bowl eligible for a couple of weeks now. And now we talking about making it to the ACC title game. So I'm overjoyed and pleased with this team this year.
I think the most unknown heading into this season was Drake May. Nobody knew really what Drake May was going to be. You know, what kind of maturity level he had, what kind of physical ability he has. I think nobody really saw Drake May playing like he's playing now, but people that's on the team that has witnessed him play, practice throughout the offseason and whatnot. But as far as fans like us, I don't think we saw the capabilities that Drake May was going to be this type of quarterback this early on. I didn't think by his redshirt freshman, his first season as a starter, following up Sam Howell, I did not expect this, but I have been pleasantly surprised, and I'm glad he's our quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. But going forward, I need I know they missing a few players, but I uh, for us to have a shot at winning the
Right,
ACC title game, if we make it, and I only say if because we haven't clinched it yet, but I think it's a really good shot that we're going to get there. But if to have a shot at winning that game, the defense is going to have to get used to playing all four quarters. I mean, I know
right.
this is
I agree.
valuable experience for them, learning how to, um, I guess you say, correct their mistakes in a sense. But
Right,
it's starting to become the same song every week, and eventually we start getting to some, especially on the other side of the ACC. Um, might get one of them opponents that's not going to make those same mistakes in the second. I'm sorry, in the second half. Like some of our opponents have been already this season. So
right.
they're missing a few key players that are gone for the season, but they Gene Chiswick has to find a way somehow for them to be more consistent throughout an entire game. And I don't know
Especially
whether
in the
that's
run
scheme.
game.
Yes, yes, because they have gotten just torched the past 2 weeks. And my man from Pittsburgh, Abani Conda, I mean, he went off, but he didn't really go off like I thought he was going to,
Right.
because it was that, oh god, that post route that they threw like 5 times down the field that really set up all three of his touchdowns.
That has been
So I
killing Carolina all season long.
yeah, it
That
has.
same route.
But I hope and pray that the defense can not say get it together, because they've stepped up they've made enough plays this season, especially later on when the offense like needed them. In the first
Right.
few games, it was straight offense. Like the defense
Right.
was still in Chapel Hill wherever we went, and the offense carried the whole team basically. They may have showed up for a couple
Yeah.
snaps,
Yeah.
and then they went and took the pads off and watched the rest of the game in the locker room.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
run
I
game.
would
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, you good.
No, I was just saying that run game is definitely a major work in progress. I mean, they gave up 186 yards and four touchdowns on the ground yesterday, and two of the four rushing TDs were by the quarterback, Brennan Armstrong. Like
Hmm.
he looked like Tim Tebow reincarnated out there running the ball, and he was like just running through the DBs, like
Yeah.
you ain't big enough, little man. That's how he was looking at him.
Hmm.
I was like, damn, this is gonna be a long day.
Yeah. Undisciplined football.
Undisciplined football. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the best word to describe Carolina's defense at a lot this season. Just undisciplined football, g- gap
Yeah.
control,
Poor
assignments,
tackling.
poor tackling, just plain undisciplined football. But like
Yeah.
I said, they have stepped up and they've made plays when they've needed to in the games that they've needed to make plays.
Right.
Because the offense has been humming all year, but they've had times where they've sputtered and the defense has stepped up. So I would give them that much credit. But I think
Right.
going
Right.
forward, ACC title game, you know, we get there and beyond, because we win or lose. I mean, we're going to a bowl.
Right.
It just
Right.
depends on what bowl we're going to, depending on that game. I
Right.
think that they gotta get they gotta get their crap together. Like they really do.
At this point in time right now, for me, I think I think the defense is what the defense is at this point. I don't think there's too much of a major change that's going to happen or major growth within the defense. Like I've been saying each week, I just want to see them get a little bit better each and every week. But I think what things will get better over time, and we get better athletes in there. Uh, I think Gene
Agreed.
Chiswick. I think Gene Chiswick needs better, um, better defensive personnel on the other side. I think he needs like a couple years being able to recruit and get his type of guys in there on the defensive front. I think we do have some freshmen, some redshirt freshmen that's probably going to be up for some playing time next year. There's some grad students or seniors on the defense on the back end. I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to call nobody out, but there's some major changes that need to happen on the back end, and in the as far as the outside corners, which I believe one of them is a senior this year. And I think no, I think two of them are seniors this year. So I think we need to see some major changes, some better athletes, the defense in a with another full off season in Gene Chiswick's scheme. And I think going forward, we're going to do better, I believe, than what we have shown this year. Like this year is not all a wash completely. It just still needs a big improvement. I'll say that to catch up or to match what the offensive side of the ball is doing, because we there offensively.
Yeah. And because you won't say it, I will. Tony Grimes and Storm Duck are both juniors.
Are they both juniors?
They're both juniors.
Oh, okay. I thought one of them was a senior. I
Hmm.
thought Tony Grimes was senior.
Yeah. But I think they would I think they would benefit too from it seems well, it
Playing a
seems
little
like to
more
me
zone than man.
a little more zone because when they have no safety help over the top, they get lit up like a Christmas tree.
Get their ass handed to them.
Man, I'm telling you, especially like the pit game.
Yeah.
That was now mind you. Now this game, Brendan Armstrong had 232 yards, which I will take any day of the week.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so the one that ate them up the most was Virginia's tight end.
Yes.
Now,
Yes,
he
he
had 6
did.
catches for 94 yards. His name is
Yeah.
Sackett Wood. Sackett Wood
Yeah.
Jr. That is a hell of a name.
Listen,
Oh
I
my
I
god, he
could have
looks like a Sackett Wood.
listen. I thought the announcer was tripping in the booth when he announced his name. I was like, no, he is not butchering this little dude name like that. And then I looked it up. I was like, no, no, no. He right.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was like, damn it,
Sackett
boy.
Wood.
Sackett
Sackett.
Wood.
And the tight end position for Virginia is really ate up most of the passing yards in this game
Yeah.
because their other tight end, let me see, his name is Sean Wilson. He is a freshman
Okay.
from Brooklyn, New York. Okay. He
Okay.
had six
BK
catches,
stand up.
sorry, five. Yeah, 5 catches for 61 yards. Okay.
Yeah.
6 catches, 5 catches. The next highest receiver had 2 catches, and so one had one for 40 yards, the other one had two for 17. So it's wild because their receivers didn't didn't tear us up, but they were missing their top three receivers. Now
Exactly. Now
I
that's
did forget about that. They were missing the top three receivers,
yeah,
but even
exactly.
still, though, for them to to let the tight ends just kind of run free like that, because I say they were open, like they were open. But
But they didn't give up anything big over the top and then didn't allow a touchdown. So I would take that, but like you said, the secondary, while they did give up a lot of yards, they were missing three starting receivers on
Yeah.
Virginia's side. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's like it like balanced itself out in some kind of weird way. Like we're missing three of our starting receivers, but at the same time, we didn't give up anything big or allow a touchdown. So you can only
Yeah.
play against who you play against.
Yeah. This is very true.
Yeah.
This is very true. But yeah, overall I was very happy with the game. I was, I was a little disappointed they gave up that last touchdown drive, but
Right.
they got the onside kick, and I will say I was very happy. I think it was Antoine Green who recovered it,
I
and
believe so.
and and instead of making the same decision that I forgot who did it. Was it Nesbitt? Against App State when they caught the onside kick and ran it back
Oh
for a
yeah,
touchdown.
Nesbitt. Yeah, Nesbitt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he caught the onside kick. He took off, and it was almost that bell went off in his head. He said, "Oh crap, slide." He said, "Let me get down." And
Yeah,
that's the
that's
first
all
thing the
we
announcer
needed.
was like. He said that was a smart play.
Yeah, that was a smart play. I was glad to see that light bulb just click off in his head. He was like, "Oh shit, let me get down."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Time to slide.
Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I do have one thing to say, and I'm pretty sure that everybody who's listening to this feels the same way. It is a great
What's
day to
that?
be a Tar Heel once again.
Already. Well, Tar Heel Nation, that will do it for us this week. This week's opponent is the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest at Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, Tar Heel Nation, we out.